if you get a new customer with a different game, you cannot simply just take the AI and put it on that game. You have to start from scratch again. And that just doesn't really make sense.
And I have several questions around that, in the sense of, how important is it that you get diversity from your models? Does it matter at all that they all tend to like bias, that they have very clear biases and they'll just do that? And if it matters, are you like trying to steer them away from the most likely path? And then the related to that is, if a game is very out of distribution, does it have problems with that? And that could be valuable in of itself, right? Like, if I'm making a game that has very little resemblance to prior games, maybe that's a signal of you have to dumb it down or make it more similar to other games to ease in the players. But I guess I can wonder, like, how much does being outside of the distribution affect the ability of the agent to do the job?
So the bias is something we didn't really observe yet, because the funny thing about games is they're inherently non-deterministic usually itself. So that's also the reason why you cannot script games that well, right? Because there's random pop-ups, there's random spawns, there's random configurations. I guess you can fix the seed, right? But then that kind of defies the purpose of getting coverage as well. But yeah, like, we actually have two separate modes almost, which is one which we call verification, which is where you can define a very clear path for the agent to follow, and it will only follow that path, and it will only test for what is mentioned. And then we also have a mode which is basically the opposite, which is exploratory, right? So you get different results every time, different coverage, different bugs reported, right? And like, usually a combination of those is what you want to go for if you're testing a game.